Welcome to Tea Time, the only video game show that answers the questions no one cared enough to ask. This week's show is brought to you by Fresh Haircuts, because a stale haircut only works if you're Robert Pattinson. Some people like the hungover look, but I don't think it's anything to sing about. Hey, speaking of singing, I got to see the Deftones, and it was awesome. But seriously, music is a wonderful, powerful thing, especially in RPGs. And I'm not just talking about your orchestral background music, I'm talking about a very specific character type. A bunch of RPGs feature a singer type class, which can totally turn the tide of battle. But why? Are we really supposed to believe that music is that powerful? Well, yes, it totally is. So we're going to look at 3 different characters from RPGs. Azura from Fire Emblem Fates, Yuna from Final Fantasy X-2, and the hottest of them all, Jigglypuff. Now I only trust one man to help me discuss music, so please welcome my guest for this episode, Mr. Kanye West. Mr. West, it is an honor to have you here. Is there anything you'd like to say before we kick things off?
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Wow, okay. Well, that has nothing to do with the topic, so let's just move on. In Fire Emblem Fates, Azura can fight, but she's mostly good for one thing. When she sings to a character, they get to take an extra turn, and in a tactics game, that makes all the difference. But can music actually push a person past his limits? Totally. And I actually did research on this, so thank you, Scientific American. Just think about listening to music while working out. Everyone has what are called brain beats, and those tell the body when it's time to get tired, but music fights this urge to help you push harder, to keep going. So when Azura sings, her song takes over a character's fatigue and pushes them another step forward. You're a true rock star, Azura.
I'm the #1 rock star on the planet.
Well, I never said you weren't. Anyway, next up is Yuna. I briefly mentioned Final Fantasy X-2 in the last episode, because it's bad and you shouldn't like it. But it does illustrate a good concept here. One of the dress spheres the party can use is the songstress, which can dance and sing. Now obviously we're going to talk about the singing part of that, and this information comes from Harvard Health. When we listen to music, we get a ton of health benefits. It's good for physical therapy, it's good for pain relief, and just general quality of life improvement. It basically boosts all of our real-world stats, and that's exactly what it does in the game too. Using the sing command raises all of the party's stats: attack, defense, evasion, everything. It's a buff that's been a part of Final Fantasy ever since bards were introduced, but it's best represented by the songstress in X-2. And that's probably the only time you're going to hear me compliment that game. Now, onto a character with one of the most godlike moves in all of Super Smash Bros.
I am a god.
Once again, never said you weren't. Let's talk about Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is really just one of like 1,000 Pokemon, but the anime cemented her as a full-on pop star who puts everyone to sleep. Now that move isn't just unique to her. Any Pokemon that uses it can put the opponent to sleep. So, can music really put you to sleep? Well, according to WebMD and Sleep.org and a billion other websites, and the fact that half of you guys watching this probably listen to music every night in bed, yes, music can totally put you to sleep. And when characters fall asleep, we all know what happens next. Well, I think that about does it. Music is freaking powerful in real life, so it makes sense that it can do the same stuff in video games. Now, I think...
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, I was just wrapping up. This guy. Let's just give him some applause, get him out of here. So that's my answer. Why are singers in RPGs powerful? Because music is powerful in real life. But if you have some sort of question or obscure topic you'd like me to dive into in a future episode, please leave it in the comments. I love reading those every time I post. Go to LaserTime to check out all the videos and podcasts and articles, all sorts of cool stuff we do. Thank you all very much for watching, and as usual, let's go play some video games.